There are two kinds of horror stories. The kind where something breaks in, and the kind where something is invited inside. This is the second kind. Nothing chased me. Nothing screamed. Nothing looked dangerous at first. There is a kind of fear that arrives loudly. It crashes through doors, breaks windows, announces itself with violence. This story is not about that kind of fear. This is about the kind that moves quietly. The kind that watches first. The kind that learns your habits, your routines, your weaknesses. For a long time, I thought nothing was wrong. I told myself I was imagining things. I told myself I was being paranoid. That is what makes this story dangerous. Because by the time I understood what was happening, he already knew more about me than anyone else ever had. I was 22 when I decided I couldn't live at home anymore. Nothing dramatic happened. No argument. No fight. I just felt stuck. Every day felt the same. Same walls. Same conversations. Same expectations. I wanted space. Independence. A place where I could exist without explanation. I didn't have much money, which meant compromise. That was when I found the listing. 2-bedroom apartment. Older building. Rent far below anything else in the area. Close to my job. Quiet neighborhood. The description mentioned one thing in bold. Shared occupancy required. I remember hesitating for less than a minute. That was my first mistake. The landlord explained it casually. He didn't want people living alone. Said it reduced noise complaints. Said shared leases meant fewer problems. There was already someone interested. A man who worked from home. Quiet. Reliable. Paid on time. He said all the right things. I asked to meet him. We met in the parking lot of the building in the afternoon. Bright daylight. Normal surroundings. He introduced himself with a firm handshake. Spoke softly. Made direct eye contact but never held it too long. He answered questions carefully. Not evasive, but controlled. When I asked about his daily routine, he said, I mostly stay in my room. I work. I read. I sleep. That sounded perfect. I didn't notice how rehearsed it was. The move itself was uneventful. He was already living there. His belongings were neatly arranged. Nothing personal in shared spaces. No photos. No decorations. No clutter. The apartment felt neutral. Like no one had ever really lived there. The first week passed quietly. Too quietly. He didn't watch TV. Didn't play music. Didn't make phone calls. At night, I heard only one sound through the wall. Typing. Slow. Consistent. Sometimes for hours. I told myself he was just working. After about 2 weeks, I noticed something small. My chair at the kitchen table was pulled out when I knew I hadn't used it. A cabinet door slightly open. I dismissed it. People forget things. Memory isn't perfect. But the feeling lingered. Then food started disappearing. Not entire meals. Just pieces. A slice missing. A handful gone. When I asked him, he looked genuinely confused. I don't eat your food, he said calmly. No defensiveness. No irritation. That should have reassured me. It didn't. The space stopped feeling empty when I was alone. I started locking my bedroom door at night, not because I was afraid, but because it felt necessary. One evening, I came home early and found him standing in the hallway. Not walking. Not doing anything. Just standing. He looked at me for a moment longer than normal. Then he stepped back into his room and closed the door. He never acknowledged it. I didn't ask. The noises started after that. Soft footsteps when I knew he was supposed to be asleep. A faint sound near my door, like someone shifting weight. I told myself buildings make noise. Until one night, I woke up and heard breathing. Not in my room. Right outside my door. When I opened it, the hallway was empty. His door was closed. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. It became clear he was observing me. He knew when I left. When I returned. When I slept late. He would comment casually. You got home later than usual. You didn't eat dinner. Statements. Not questions. I asked how he knew. He shrugged. I noticed things. The night everything changed, I came home after midnight. The apartment was dark. But my bedroom light was on. I heard movement inside. I opened the door. He was sitting at my desk. Using my computer. My stomach dropped. He looked up slowly and smiled. I was fixing something, he said. There were tools on my bed. Real tools. I didn't ask questions. I told him to leave. He did. Without protest. I stayed with a friend that night. The next day, I packed everything while he was gone. I didn't tell him I was leaving. I paid the penalty. I didn't look back. I don't know what he planned. I don't know how far it would have gone. But I know this. He wasn't rushing. He was learning. And that is what still scares me. If you made it to the end of this story, thank you. Stories like this remind us that real horror doesn't need monsters. It needs access. If you enjoy long-form true horror and psychological stories like this, support the channel by liking this video. It helps more people find these stories. Subscribe if you want more real, slow-burn horror that stays with you long after the video ends. And remember, not everyone who shares your space shares your reality. Sometimes, they're just waiting for you to feel safe.